Now that I'm back, so these are the moon gels. And what it does is it takes the ring out of the drum, because oftentimes if Eddie's playing, it'll ring too much, and then the sound guy will have a hard time with it. Jason's laughing again. So this is a brand new one. They're kind of like, it's like Jello shooters, but not quite. Or the eyeballs. It's like the eyeballs. So I'll put that on here. So listen to the difference. Hear the ring? Okay. So if I put this on it now, it makes it a little bit deader. So that sounds good for now, but because it's a new skin, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tune it up a little bit more and stretch it out and tune it up so that Eddie has an easy night playing. You hear it kind of cracking?
Yeah.
So when it's just breaking a little bit more of the loop. Now we'll listen to it again and it'll sound goofy again. So I'll have to tune them all. They all sound pretty close. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give it just a slight turn more. So I'll start at the top and just give it like a kind of like that. And at this point, it's all kind of feeling on how the drum skin's reacting. This is a big, some drum techs, if you're watching this, will go, you shouldn't do this. Because what happens is, I like to hear the harmonics of the drums. So what I'll do is I'll just slightly dampen it with my finger, so it takes away the kind of the percussiveness of it. And all I'm listening to is the harmonics. You can see it all kind of sounds the same that way, but if you put your finger on it lightly, so you hear this one's a little bit deader. So now I'll bring this one up. Like that. The reason some people say don't do that is because if I put too much weight on it, if I don't have, so once you're learning how to do this, the hard part is to get the even amount of pressure. Because listen, you can stretch the skin. So sometimes if you're going around, you can push harder on it in certain really be cautious of kind of what you're doing, how much weight you're actually putting on it. The trick to this is because you're pulling the drum, so I can tune this one with this one, but I can also tune this one. So it's kind of like a give and take. So you want to make sure you're hearing. You want to hear both sides of it, and if that's not quite right, you can turn it back. Maybe try and take it up over here, and then it pulls it a little bit differently. Good for now. What'll happen is it'll stretch out throughout the day, and then just before the show, I'll go back up there and kind of tune it back up. But hear what it sounds like now. So put our trusty moon gel back on there. Turn the snares on. Here's the difference the snares make. So you can hear it. It sounds like almost like a timbale kind of thing. If I turn the snares on, so that's how you do it. It's actually sitting a little low for where I'd like it right now, so I'm going to bring it up a little bit more. I find when Eddie plays drums, a lot of what he feels, like it's all in the feel of the way the stick comes off the snare, that kind of thing. If it's too sluggish, he'll have a harder time playing, because he's a really active drummer, so he's always, if you watch him play, so if his stick's not coming off, it throws his timing off, or else, a good way to describe it is he'll say to me, everything feels like a pillow tonight, which means all the snare heads or the drum heads are too loose. Last night, he said to me last night, I could tell, he's like, can you bring everything up? Because it was just a little loose last night. So I went in there and I was hitting the drums and bringing them all up. And then now, when he goes and sits behind the kit, he's going to get a more lively response off of it. So now he can kind of play a little bit easier tonight. And you'll notice, I notice when the snare head's too low, he doesn't do a lot of what are called rolls or single stroke rolls. He's really good at, and he's got a great stick technique, and so he'll do stuff like that. But if the snare head's not reacting properly, he can't do that kind of stuff. He can because he's that good, but it's just harder for him to do it. So a lot of times what he'll do is you'll see him during the show. He'll grab the drum key, which I have beside him, and he'll kind of fight with the drum that way. Right? So if he does that, that means I haven't done my job.
Okay.
So we like to make sure he doesn't have to do that as much as possible. So yeah, so then if I would leave the snare the way it is right now, he would be able to play pretty good because it's a new head, it's fresh, it's a little livelier. But as soon as he gets 3 or 4 songs in and he starts to really break the head in, then it's really going to kind of it won't respond as well to the stick technique that he has. So I'll probably bring it up a little bit more, and then when he's playing, it'll sit a little high at first, and then it'll kind of sit right where it's supposed to, and then he'll have a great show because of it. So that's tuning a drum.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's what I get to do. Okay, now turn that off. Seriously, turn it off.
Lisa, I want to see Lisa.
Yeah. Luxembourg, this is my coffee cup.